everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about the books I'm looking forward to the most in 2024. Now, if you haven't seen my top books of 2023, I will have that video, linked down below as well as the end of this and even up here if you'd like. But I recently did a video on all the top books I read in 2023. 2023 was a great reading year. I got through some really lovely books. And it's made me only more excited for next year and the books that are coming out then. If you're new here, my name is Nikita. On this channel, we prioritize BIPOC fiction, especially South Asian stories, both in literature and in real life. So I have a lot of book chats here as well as my podcast called Brown People Problems. If you're not new here and you have been watching my videos for a while, thank you so much for being here. It's been such a lovely time creating these and interacting with you guys. Okay, so I have my Goodreads open here. Let's take a look at some of the books that I know as of right now are coming out in 2024 and, sound pretty great. I don't typically include nonfiction in this list. This is mainly fiction. But if here and there's a nonfiction, I'll certainly share that. But I use my Goodreads to track my fiction reads. All right, the first book that is coming out that I'm excited for is Hera by Jennifer Saint. This seems really exciting. Doesn't say what month it's coming out. Yeah, and interestingly, there's no description either, but I believe this is about Hera. Hera is the goddess of marriage, women, and family, and the protector of women during childbirth. This is by Jennifer Saint. Jennifer Saint has written some really amazing Greek mythological retellings. I really, really enjoyed Electra. Ariadne is on my list next. I actually have it back here. I'm hoping to read it as well. But this subgenre of Greek retellings has been so enjoyable. Natalie Hayes is another great author. I have read most of hers, actually. The recent one that she came out with this year, Stone Blind, I haven't read that yet, so I'll be reading that next year as well. But I'm excited for another Jennifer Saint Greek mythological retelling. All right, after that, the book that I will be picking up is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is going to be interesting. This is a paranormal romance. I have not really ever read paranormal romance with the exception of Twilight, if that really counts, when, we were preteens and teens in high school. But I really enjoy Ali Hazelwood's writing. I really enjoy her characters for the most part. So I'm excited about this. This is coming out, in February. Okay, so I will have it sooner than later. This is about a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf. Apparently it seems like the vampire bride, she lives in anonymity among humans. And it features a marriage of convenience. But it also seems like enemies to lovers. That's my understanding, but it is vampires and werewolves. Seems very reminiscent of Twilight. I am certainly going to be, unfortunately, going in with a bit of a bias, but I will do my best to keep that bias at arm's length because it wouldn't be fair to the book. But I don't know what other mythological or what other mythical characters you can have a paranormal romance for. Again, I'm so new to this category, so I might really love it. I might really hate this book. I have no idea. If any of you read paranormal romance, let me know down below. What are your thoughts about this book? Does this seem like something that is going to be, one for the books? Or does this seem very passable? After that, I will be picking up The Catch by Amy Leah. This is in the Influencer series, Influencer number 3. To be honest, I'm not particularly looking forward to it, but I have read the other two. I really enjoyed the first one, which is Set on You by Amy Leah. It's about a fitness influencer and had some really lovely narratives on body image. I really liked that. The second one, which was X's and O's, was okay, not my favorite. And so with the third one, I am quite skeptical going in, but I can't leave this series unfinished. I don't know if anyone else has this quirk, but I have to finish it now. And this is also coming out in February. This is a romance between a grumpy sunshine, a grumpy lobster fisherman, and a fashion influencer. Yeah, seems pretty nice. I'm excited. I really hope besides the romance, it has another element to it, because what I really enjoyed about the Set on You, the first book, Set on You, was that there was a whole focus on body image, self-love, self-acceptance, body neutrality, and there wasn't any other plot line in the second book. And I think that's why I enjoyed it a little bit less. It was just romance focused. And I know some folks really love that. Unfortunately, that's not the type of book that I love and rave home about, but I will still be picking this up. Next up, I have Normal Women, 900 Years of Making History by Philippa Gregory. Philippa Gregory writes some of the best historical fiction ever. I have, even before I started this YouTube channel years and years ago, I've always had a fascination with the Tudor history, especially the Tudor history period in the British history. And Philippa Gregory has written some really great stuff. You might know her most famous one has been The Other Boleyn Girl, which was also a Natalie Portman movie. And I really liked it. Ooh, this one also comes out in February. Perfect. So this apparently is not fiction. This is a feminist nonfiction, which radically redefines her understanding of the extraordinary roles ordinary women played throughout British history. Most histories have been written by men, about men, relegating women to the shadows of time. Now Philippa Gregory talks about ordinary women who shaped the world. That sounds really interesting. There's going to be a period of Black Death in 1348, where women were paid same wages as men, to all the way to 1992, ordination of women by the Church of England. Oh, that sounds really nice. This is not going to be the type of book that I obviously binge, but I will take my time with it, annotate it as I go. But any type of feminist retelling, any type of feminist fiction, feminist nonfiction is always something that I will opt for. And I really like the premise of this. There are some reviews on Goodreads already from folks who received ARCs, and people have some really lovely things to say about this. Oh, it's a big one. It's a 700 pages hardcover. Great. The third book that I'm actually quite excited for is A Nest of Vipers by Harini Nagendra. This is the third book in the Bangalore Detective series that I talk a lot about on this channel. This is a cozy mystery series. It is a cozy mystery series, but it does have quite a few dark elements. It's not that cozy, but it's great. It's set in Bangalore, India, 100 years ago, and it follows a 19-year-old homemaker, Kaveri, who she has an interest in solving murders, and she forms this Bangalore Detectives Club. And I have really enjoyed this historical fiction. This third one comes out in March. The second one, which was called Murder Under a Red Moon, was also quite nice. Certainly a lot darker than the first one, which is why I say I wouldn't necessarily put these in the cozy mystery series completely. But this third one seems nice. This features the Prince of Wales when he visited India around 1920s. I love it when books historical fiction books are not just set in a certain time and have an entirely fictional setting, but they will actually take real events that happen and they will fictionalize a story around it. I really enjoy that, so I'm excited for this one. If you haven't read this series, I would highly recommend it. It's fun, it's quick, very easy to get through. After that, we have The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. This is the third book in the Dial A for Aunties series. I've talked a lot about this series as well. I really enjoyed the first one, Dial A for Aunties. The second one, which was For Aunties and a Wedding, I didn't love it so much, but this is a cozy mystery series as well. And this is about an Indonesian Chinese family living in California. So you have a lot of meddling aunties. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'm reading some of the Goodreads reviews, and there's one review that's really brutal. It says, "This is a completely unnecessary addition to the series and somehow even more unrealistic than the first two books." Okay, it is a cozy mystery series. All cozy mysteries are outlandish and unrealistic. If you've read Finlay Donovan, I mean, come on, the great book, but that's what makes cozy mysteries so fun, is that they're so unrealistic. But you know what? I don't usually listen to Goodreads reviews. I make my own opinions, and that's always been sort of my aim with this channel as well, that just because I like something or didn't like it doesn't mean you're gonna like it or not like it. Please make your own decisions. All right, up next we have A Witch's Guide to Magical Thinking by Sangu Mandana. This is the same author who wrote A Very Irregular Society of Witches. It was nice. I liked it. I didn't seem to love it as much as everyone else here on YouTube. It was a nice, cozy rom-com with a witchy element. Yeah, and there's not much more I'm going to say about that. It had a really nice found family aspect, and I really appreciated that about it. I am looking forward to the second one as well. I don't know if I'll be, running to the store to pick this up. I might take my time with it. This comes out in April. But it doesn't follow the same characters. It looks like it's a whole new character altogether. There's a witch, Sarah Swan, who gets a second chance to get her magical powers and her life back on track. Oh, so it's a romance between herself and a historian who seems to be icy and grumpy. So I'm imagining a bit of a grumpy sunshine. So this will be nice. The cover is absolutely beautiful, even for the Irregular Society. It was great. Whoever's doing the covers for these books is doing a really great job. Now, this next book, everyone here on their 2024 lists have this on there. This is A Funny Story by Emily Henry. I will say when Happy Place came out this year, it was good, but it was not as good as some of her other stuff. My favorite Emily Henry has been, unpopular opinion, but has been Book Lovers and People We Meet on Vacation, Beach Read being the last, and then Happy Place. And while I'm excited for Funny Story to come out, it comes out in April, I'm also really skeptical. I don't know. I find that sometimes unfortunately, when authors become really big, they tend to lose a bit of their charm and what makes them authentic and what makes their stories lovely. And I don't know if this has just been my experience, but I feel the same way about franchising. You have a great pizza place that opens up in your neighborhood, and then if it becomes a franchise and there's a branch everywhere, then you lose the charm and the quality. And that's how I feel sometimes about these super famous authors that are coming out with a new book every 6 months. Case in point being Tessa Bailey. I loved her stuff until 2023. Everything she published in 2023 didn't hit the mark for me. So will I pick this book up? Absolutely. Will I talk about it on this channel? Definitely, because I do think that no one does banter like Emily Henry. I absolutely love her characters. I love her female characters. And I love the banter that she has between her characters. And I will pick this book up. This is about a pair of opposites with wrong things in common. Okay, so a mismatched couple. All right, the next book that I'm genuinely excited for, and I will go into store the week it comes out to buy it, is Goddess of the River by Vaishnavi Patel. This is the author who wrote Keke, the book that has been making its rounds on TikTok, on BookTube, and it was her debut and it was great. This is a retelling of a villain from a Hindu epic, Mahabharata, and Keke was great. My mom and I read it actually together, and it was a really, really great experience, and everyone absolutely loves that book. So her next book is called Goddess of the River. The cover's quite nice. This is a reimagining of the story of Ganga, who's the goddess of the river, and her mortal son. This gives me time to familiarize myself with the original story of the goddess of Ganga, because with Keke at least, I had heard a little bit about it, because it's a very popular epic from which the character was taken. But I know nothing about this particular cast of characters. So I'm going to be reaching out to my mom and asking her to help me in my research and learning about this. But it follows Ganga as she weds a king and she becomes a queen. And then she has a mortal son who carries a specific curse. And it's primarily focused on a bond between mother and son. Sorry, Keke was a retelling of Ramayana, not Mahabharata. This already has great reviews on Goodreads. People have given it 4 or 5.5, 5 stars. I am looking forward to it, to be honest. It's been quite nice to see some of these older characters and these stories that we grew up hearing to be represented in fiction in this way. So I will be keeping you posted on that one. And you know what? I imagine everyone on YouTube is going to be talking about it. so I won't be the only one. Next up, I have The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. This book comes out in June 11th, 2024. I am very excited for this. I absolutely love Catherine Center. I loved The Bodyguard. And more than that, I loved her second book, which was called Hello Stranger. I think everyone should read Hello Stranger, especially the author's note at the end. It's an unusual recommendation, but I really love that book. I love her writing. I love her female characters. I love her storytelling. These books are so feel good, and romance isn't just the main plot, that there's other subplots in here too. So I'm excited for The Rom-Commers. I really hope it lives up to the hype. This follows a female character, Emma Wheeler, who wants to be a screenwriter. She's also sole caretaker of her dad, who needs full-time care. So I imagine it's going to be about balancing work with caretaking duties. Oh, looking forward to it. Again, some really great reviews from people who received the ARC for this. And the cover looks stunning as well. But if you haven't read The Bodyguard or Hello Stranger, please read them. They're actually really good. And they are not... And those books are not spicy. So if you don't prefer spicy romance, these are actually perfect. And they're lovely. After that, we have The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. There's no cover yet. Comes out June 18th. I marked this as read, not because I'm like particularly really looking forward to it. It's just, I like Lucy Foley. I liked some of her older stuff. I really enjoyed Hunting Party. Guest List was really great. I read the one that she came out with this year, The Paris Apartment. It was not very good in my opinion. It was okay. So I don't have really, really high hopes for this, but this is a locked room murder mystery. So you're basically at the opening weekend of a manor, which is like a luxury resort, and there's a locked room murder, and and everyone has to figure it out. I'm guessing that's the premise. Even the description is very short on Goodreads, but I will be picking this up for sure. I may not be running to the store for this the day it comes out, but I'm sure I'll be reading it at some point next year. Next up, I have Marriage and Masti by Nisha Sharma. This is her third book in her If Shakespeare Was an Auntie series. This is the author of Dating Dr. Dill, and the second one was Tastes Like Shucker. This follows a group of 6 friends, and you have a very heteronormative setting, so you have, male and female couples. And the first 2 books have been about the stories of the 4 friends, and now this is going to be the last couple. No cover yet, comes out end of August. Not too much on here, but this is, so what she's been doing is her books have been retellings of Shakespeare plays. This third one is a retelling of Twelfth Night. I'm trying to remember, did I read Twelfth Night? But it's about friends to lovers. Oh, I really enjoy that trope. Her books are extremely spicy, so I would just be mindful going into it. But they're fun. Dating Dr. Dill was certainly a lot more fun for me than Tastes Like Shucker. But again, it's one of those things, like I didn't love the second one, but I feel like I have to finish the series, so I will be reading this. After that, I plan on picking up The Royals Upstairs by Karina Hale. This comes out in early September. This is the same author who wrote The Royals Next Door. It was a great rom-com. It was quite spicy. It was nice. This is basically about sort of like a spin-off of Harry and Meghan's story. It's about this royal couple, they have been kicked out of the royal family, and then they escape to Vancouver Island, and they get a beachfront house, and it's about their neighbor, and she starts spying on them, and she falls in love with their bodyguard. So that first book was quite fun. This is a sequel to it. Oh, actually, this is not the sequel. This is a totally different royal couple. This is a romance between a royal bodyguard and a royal nanny, and it involves a prince of Norway. This is going to be interesting. I will say the one thing that I really appreciated about the first book in this series was it was quick, it was fast-paced, it was a fun rom-com. If you're looking for something to just like read on the weekend or on a trip or like a long flight, The Royals Next Door was fun. So I do have high hopes from the second one. After that, I would like to read My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine. This comes out at the end of September in 2024. This is a sequel to My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. And this book came out around Halloween time this year, and I absolutely loved it. I guess, okay, so this is another mythological romance that I have read, but this is about a normal human girl and a vampire. Her roommate's a vampire. It was hilarious. I had a lot of fun reading that book. It was obviously outlandish, like you can't go in with realistic expectations, but it was such a great start to my Halloween reading season this year, so I am looking forward to the second one. So same author, similar setting, but not the same characters. In my Vampire Plus one, it seems, okay, so it's about this girl named Amelia. She's apparently like sick of dating, so she decides she's sick of dating and she's sick of everyone pestering her about finding someone to date. So to get people off her back, she decides to like bring to her cousin's wedding as a date the worst person that she could find, you know, like poorly behaved person. And that's Reginald, our male protagonist. I'm assuming he's the one who's a vampire because these are plus one. And yeah, and it's going to be a romance between the two. Sounds like a really fun setting. This would be great to read in the summer with the wedding setting, but it is coming out end of September. No cover on this one yet, so I'm looking forward to the cover reveal because the My Roommate is a Vampire cover reveal was pretty nice. And the last book that I have here for now is The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling. This is the third book in the X-Hex series. I enjoyed the X-Hex. I enjoyed the second one, which was The Kiss Curse. Again, the first one was better than the second one. I like the fact that this third one is coming out around Halloween. It's coming out mid-October, so it's going to be a great book to add to your fall TBR list. But this looks like the third brother. So if you read the X-Hex, there's 3 Penhallow brothers who come from this really like long lineage of powerful magical family in the States. And so we've seen the first 2 brothers pair up in the first 2 books, and this is about the third one, the leftover one. So I don't recognize his female interest though. I think this is a whole new character outside of the existing list of characters, but this will be a fun one to read during the Halloween season. All right, everyone, those are all the books that I'm looking forward to reading in 2024. As of right now, I know more books are going to be announced. I'm going to come across other books. I will certainly be adding to this list, and I will keep you posted. Let me know which books out of this list are you really interested in and you're planning on reading. And if you'd like to see my top books of 2023, watch the next video. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Take care.